Hey, brothers and sisters. Today I want to go over fellowship and community. Just the other day, I posted about all the division that's going on and the adversary and how he's been so tactical on causing the division. And with all that being said, I want to counter that and fight against that with not just telling you in regard of something not to do and be like, no, but more so to give you something to do and to understand not just what to do, but why to do it and the importance of doing it. And that's, as I said, fellowship, community, relationship, walking side by side. And I have some verses here that I want to jump into. I want to start off with that just for the seed to be planted for whoever may be watching this, especially earlier on, and maybe they don't want to watch for that long. God willing, they do. But the first verse I want to jump into in regards to fellowship is 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 58, where he says that he may incline our hearts unto him to walk in all his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments which he commanded our fathers. In that regard, you hear him talking about, it's plural, our fathers, his commandments, and that we, plural, as a humanity, as a people, are following God's commandments together. And we follow our fathers and our great grandfathers and so on. The next verse is Psalms 81:13. He says, "Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways." We have, just once again, that relationship. The Lord, these first two verses are primarily between relations in us with the Most High, but it also plays in a way where you're seeing it go through having relations with humanity. And as the verses go on here, you'll see more about it not just being a vertical relationship between you and God personally, but also horizontally, because you'll start to see how God dwells in people. And that's the perspective we need to see more. We need to really get locked in with God and see that he's dwelling in us. His breath is literally what's giving me and you life to even watch and ponder this. Every breath that we're taking is from him. It is him. Next verse is Amos, chapter 3, verse 3. He says, "Can two walk together except they be agreed?" So he's saying in regards, can two people go in the same direction or even walk unless they're in alignment, unless they agree on the destination? Where are they going? What are their plans? Maybe one person wants to go west, another person wants to go east. One person wants to go up, the other person wants to go down. And in that division, that's what we see happening. Everybody's divided, everybody's going their own way, which they see fit. And God willing, we can start coming together to come in agreement that we all know we need Jesus Christ. And let that be the core agreement on which direction we decide to go and how we walk and how we pace and so on. Next verse is Malachi, chapter 2, verse 6. He says, "The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. And he walked with me in peace, in equity, and did turn many away from iniquity." As we even hear and seeing that right at the end, he says, "and did turn many away from iniquity." We're hearing first, though, he was walking with the Lord, walking in the Lord's ways, and having a relationship with God first, that vertical relationship as mentioned. But after that, it plays out into the horizontal. The people that are to your left and to your right, beside you, as you hear it, and did turn many away from iniquity. That means he wasn't isolated. He wasn't away from people. He was exactly in it and with the people. He went to the darkness and to be the light for the sake of winning people over and saving some. Next verse is Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. "For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them." That whole verse tells you the whole application of exactly what this video is about. Community, fellowship. Where two or three are gathered, I am there. God is there. Two or three are gathered together. Not necessarily, not to limit it and say that it only physically has to be, but it is in the implications. It implies like an aspect of being together physically. Be together. Two or three, he's there. And that's what we need. We need community. We need to get together with our brothers and our sisters, pastors, teachers, so on, all the aspects, the body come together collectively. And the Lord's there, and we need that. We need to start working really together intentionally. If we're not intentional, it's not going to happen. It's kind of like trying to set up a savings or, a vacation plan. If you don't intentionally plan your vacation and you are working a 9 to 5 and you have the paid time off, but you don't let your boss or supervisor know in advance, you're not just going to be able to be like, "Hey, tomorrow I'm leaving." Especially if it's a corporate job, you have to let them know in advance. That's just the way it works. With that, the point is you have to be intentional. about letting them know. Therefore, what I'm saying is you have to be intentional about getting plugged in with your local community, your brothers, your sisters, in whatever regard. I don't care if it's playing a men's sports league or doing a knitting class. Like, just join together with people and watch the Lord work. Next verse is 1 John chapter 1, verse 3. It's that which we have seen and heard declare we unto you, that ye also may have fellowship with us. And truly our fellowship is with the Father and with the Son, Jesus Christ. So you hear plural in that regard as well. Have fellowship with us. And he was saying that with us having a fellowship together, plural, the sole reason that we all are coming together collectively is for the one vertical reason, the Most High. So with everything about it playing out, remember, it does always go to the vertical, but you're going to have the horizontal. You're going to have your brothers and sisters and humans on your left and right that you're going to be with, because God's dwelling in them. And the next verse, I think, actually testifies exactly that concept, that he's calling a people, not just a person. It's not that you're the only one that believes and no other human believes, or you're the only one that has faith and no other human has faith. We all need grace. We all need mercy. We're all guilty. We all are have, even if we have righteous works, they're filthy rags before the Lord, and he was the one that gave it to us in the first place to be able to do what is pleasing and good to God. So don't boast. Bring yourself low. Realize you're a sinner. You needed the grace. You needed the mercy, and so does that brother or sister, regardless what they're saying. You know what I mean? It's that aspect. Let's come together in that way. Next up is Revelation 21, chapter 21, verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, plural, and he will dwell with them, plural again, and they shall be his people. And God himself shall be with them, plural, and be their God. All of that's plural. God, the Almighty, the Most High, is telling you that he's going to be with us, plural, not just you, not isolated, not individualized. Together, let's start coming together and encouraging each other and edifying each other and knowing that we need each other and building each other up. Let's be the body. What is a finger without the palm? What is the palm without the wrist? What is the wrist without the forearm without the elbow, and so on, the bicep, all the way. Everything is connected. We need to be connected and together. The last verse on here I have is Exodus chapter 29, verse 45. And I will dwell among the children of Israel and will be their God. He's telling you, he's like, I want to be with you. Their God, once again, plural. We need to be together as a whole, and God wants to be with us. He doesn't want us to be isolated. You look at Jonah, denying the Lord in regards to going to preach to Nineveh. He's like, nah, I don't want to go to Nineveh. They're wicked. God, destroy them. Remember, that's what I was literally just saying yesterday. And we feel justified in that way. And you know what God's answer was to that? He's like, Jonah, he didn't even harshly rebuke Jonah either. He's like, Jonah, why do you want me to destroy Nineveh? And Jonah's all like, in regards to they're wicked, destroy them, they're defiled, they blaspheme you, they mock you, they do evil and wicked deeds. And God's like, Jonah, they're like little children who don't know their left hand from their right hand. That's how much the Lord pities and sees and has mercy on this. He's like, they have no idea what they're doing. They don't understand the magnitude. And where do we see that play out? We see that on the Lord on the cross, where he's literally like, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. The whole point is exactly that we need to understand that those who are lost in whichever way need love, and they need mercy, and they need grace, and they need fellowship, and they need examples. Yes, we are to rebuke. Yes, we are to correct. But even then, when we rebuke, what are we doing? We're rebuking in love. When we're correcting, what are we doing? We're correcting in love. We're guiding in love. It's like a teacher with a child, a little kid. You're teaching the little kid. You're not just going to start yelling at the little kid because he or she did something stupid the first time. And even if it's the 10th time, yes, you're going to increase an actions of discipline. Yes, that is correct. You do gradually increase. But at a certain point, when it's just not working, what are you going to do? You're just going to exile them? There's other tactics. And in this tactic, in specifically this regard, the best tactic is prayer. Because it's a spiritual fight. And we know that. So we have the advantage because we're learning the ways of God, because he wants to be with us. Anyhow, all of this is about fellowship and unity. I hope you guys are starting to see the importance of it. Don't be isolated. Let God lead you. Be with God. Be with God's people, because God dwells in his people and he loves his people. I love y'all. God loves y'all. And I only love y'all because he first loved me. God bless. Take care.